In this video, I'll be showing you how to 10x the amount of ads that you can create using Google's new AI, Nanobanana. This allows you to create and test creatives faster and cheaper than ever before. I'm talking hundreds of iterations in just a few minutes, and I'm going to show you exactly how. First things first, jump into gemini.google.com, and once you're in here, to access Nanobanana, you can do one of two things. First, you could just prompt Gemini and say create an image, which will automatically trigger Nanobanana, or just to keep things simple, you can click on your tools box here and click create images. That will have the little Nanobanana logo right next to the bottom of the prompt. Now, what makes Nanobanana different than any other image creation AI platform right now is the unique ability to swap individual pieces out of different ads. This allows iterations to be created at massive scale. And I'm even talking about the most complex iterations, everything from the images you have on your website, creating mass scale of images and ads that you have within your ads manager right now, to even the most complex model images that you may have paid thousands and thousands of dollars for. Now, the example I want to start us with is actually within your ads manager. So what I would advise everyone to do to find your best, most impactful ads that you should create dozens of iterations for is first go into your ads manager, select your prospecting only campaigns, and then go to your column set, click compare attribution settings, and click incremental attribution. What this is going to show you is the prospecting ads that have driven net new purchases for your business. Now, as you can see here, we have 1,555 purchases, but we only have 786 incremental purchases, which is why we want to focus on the ads that drive the best incremental ROAS. And just to give you all an example, take ad number 1 versus ad number 4. On the outside, regular ROAS, ad number 4 is driving a 4.79, ad number 1 is driving a 4.3. Everyone's going to think that ad number 4 is driving a better ROAS than ad number 1. However, incrementally, it's not even close. Incrementally, ad number 1 drives a 2.58 incremental ROAS versus a 1.6 from ad number 4. So what we're going to be doing in this example is we're going to be taking ad number 1, and I want to focus on iterations of ad number 1. Now, this image, this client, it's fully confidential, so we're going to be using an example. Now, what I've done is I have a giant board of all creative that I really like. You can go get it down in the description, by the way. It's 100% free. What we're going to do here is we're just going to take an image that I think is good, and I'm going to show you how you can create massive iterations of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Ridge. Now, Ridge wallet, basically, they create these really hard wallets that are super tough. They last a lifetime, and they have a ton of really good ads. In fact, they have hundreds of active ads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to drop this into Gemini. And what I want to do here is I want to take this exact ad. I want to take this ad that we know is working well, right? Because I could just tell from here, the runtime of this ad is 233 days, as we can see on the right side. But even if I didn't know that, and we're just using my own ads, if I was managing the Ridge account, then what I would do here is I'd take this ad and I want to create a lot of variations of this exact ad. And the way that we're going to do that is by changing a core difference maker. That core difference maker is going to be color, because different people will be interested in different color Ridge wallets. So what I will do is I'm going to go to Ridge wallet, and I'm going to replace this image with a different product. We're going to start with this carbon fiber looking option, and I'm going to say, boom, use the first image as the base image, replace the green wallet with the product in the second image, which shows a carbon fiber wallet. And what took about 10 seconds allows us to have the exact same ad. I mean, this is not distinguishable from the first ad with a new color replacement. Just so everyone can see, image number 1 on the right side, image number 2 on the left-hand side. This is essentially the exact same thing. You might say to yourself, okay, yeah, but there's some little cutoffs here. All the Gemini logos here. I'm going to show you a trick to resolve that. You're just simply going to say zoom out. Now, admittedly, I had to prompt this a few times just to get the right zoom out, but be patient, zoom out as you need. And you can see from this second angle here, we've got the logo included perfectly. We have enough of a zoom that I can crop this to square, or even potentially crop it to a story format. You can go well beyond just asking it to zoom out and ask it for specific aspect ratios based on what you need for your ads. And a pro tip here is that whatever images you use in the prompt, you will likely keep that aspect ratio in the actual deliverable. For example, if I switch these from square images as we have here to full story length images, or like long aspect aspect ratio images, then everything we spit out here would be long aspect ratios. They would be story style images. I showed you a really easy example. Let's go a little bit more extreme. We're going to use Ridge Wallet, and we're going to use something that has a lot more detail, a lot more color. Now, Ridge has this insane looking wallet with a bunch of different weird colors flipped on it. And I want to really focus on the detail here because this is the difference. This is the big key. The difference here is that previously in any other AI platform that we've used, you've basically had this scenario of you push something like this in and little small details are not followed. However, when we use this now with Nanobanana, exact details are followed. I'm going to say perfect. Now replace the wallet with this image instead. And the really cool part now is that it has already recognized what is good and what I want. So now we can quickly continue to replace more and more and more products in here, ultimately allowing you to create dozens of iterations in an instant. And again, just like that, we have created a near perfect image, another variation very, very quickly. You could probably get by now, you have now the ability to create your own variations very quickly of your best performing static images for the first time ever before with accuracy. Think about it like this. The biggest and the fastest competitors out there, the actual strongest ad machines out there, had this massive advantage of fast creative turnover. The playing field has been completely leveled. Everyone has the ability to use Gemini Nanobanana. You don't even need a pro plan. And if you do use a pro plan, which costs you about $20 a month, you could generate unlimited amounts of images and even have the ability to animate those images with Google VO. Now, I want to get a little bit more extreme because what I've just showed you right here is just simply replacing a single product image. But what you can actually do, and I don't think what many people actually realize you can do, is you could use the same exact thing and actually replace people, and you can replace the products that they are wearing or showing. And this is the game changer of it all, because swapping in a stock image on top of another stock image is something that could basically be done with your editor for $5 really quickly in Photoshop. Now, the key difference here is we could replace complete imagery, and I'm going to show you exactly how. So in this example, I am using a brand called Talentless. Now, Talentless has this really, really solid ad here. It's been running for quite some time. We're going to take this ad as the seed ad. And now you'll note here, I'm not using the square crop. I'm actually using the vertical story format. So pay attention, watch what happens. We're going to start with this as the seed. And what I want to happen here is I want this exact image to be replaced in color. Because let's say that this exact image, this format, is crushing for us. It's working really well. But this one, which is already a variation, is working okay, but not as strong. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the first image variation and we're going to keep that as the core, and we're going to replace it with this color, this green color here. Now you're going to notice in this example, if we compare this ad to this ad, they're different poses, there are different colors, there's a lot of different text going on, there's color palettes going on, there's imagery, there's shadows, there's a lot that this could unpack and a lot can go wrong here. So Nanobanana is actually going to have the ability to reason, to think about what should be replaced, what should not be replaced. And I would almost guarantee that if you did this on your own, you're going to get a different result that I'm going to get. But I am so supremely confident that we're going to be able to create multiple variations of ad number one very quickly. And then I'm going to show you how you could actually change it up and make further variations. Okay, so my first prompt, because of how complex this was, resulted in a imperfect image. We actually had, just the sweatpants being replaced on the left-hand side. I then reprompted to replace all of the sweatpants. And we can see here, this is basically spot on perfect. Now, I promised you one more thing is how can we take this ad and spin it up to be even better? And the way that we can do this is we could just say perfect, which indicates to Gemini that it did a good job. We want to keep those core elements. Change the pose of the model to be sitting on the stairs. Now, what we've done here is we've created something that has never existed before. We are going to build a completely different ad unit, but still keeping the core elements of the original the same. And what we can see here is an insane job. You might say, okay, like if we zoom in too far, the model doesn't look completely realistic. There's probably 100 elements that you could pinpoint that you might not love here, but just think about the ability that you have for the very first time. And even if that means removing or cropping certain pieces out of this, even if that means you have to go beyond here and say, still only stay neck down like this original photo does, there's unlimited possibilities while keeping your exact product photos being near perfect. Right now, the playing field is level. It's not going to be level for very long because people are going to learn how to spin up ads faster than ever before. And the meta, what's working the best right now in Facebook ads is having a high creative volume. So take advantage of this now before all of your competitors get ahead of you. If you enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments below. And if you have any questions about this, also let me know. I try to reply to the most relevant comments. The best questions always get answered. That is all for this one. I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.